Hello there, thank you for staying with us and welcome to Face Off at channelstv.com. The presidency has begun investigation to determine the level of complicity of some government parastatals and agency who are suspected to have colluded with the National Assembly to allegedly mutilate the 2016 budget sent to the president for assent. Some say the president has refused to sign the appropriation bill on the premise that it was distorted by the federal lawmakers. The National Assembly has asked the executive to come on clean and say something about what was sent to them and stop engaging in surreptitious campaigns against the Senate and the House of Representatives in order to cover up its errors. Also, the Senate is asking the Minister of Transportation, Chibike Rotimi Amechi, to resign or apologize, insisting the Lagos-Calabar rail line project was not included in the original budget submitted to them. And that's what happened in the course of a few days ago. But just a couple of hours ago, members of the House of Representatives agreed to re-examine the budget in view of the prevailing circumstances in the country. Question: was the 2016 budget really mutilated? Are these contrived discrepancies sufficient excuse for the president's delay in assenting to the bill? What exactly were these alleged discrepancies? Is it something that could have been, how they say it, politically managed? Or wasn't there effective lobbying in the course of presentation of the budget, the examination, and the final document? Oh, it's not yet final. Well, the question we're asking today is, who distorted the 2016 budget? I have two gentlemen in the studio. One of them used to be a member of the House of the National Assembly, Honorable Solomon Edoja. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and good evening, Riyadh.
And the other is a political analyst, Razak Olokoba. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good evening, viewers.
Okay, gentlemen, the question we're asking, who distorted the 2016 budget?
Is it to me?
Yes, in 10 seconds.
Well, I would say it's the executive because...
The executive?
Yes,
okay.
I would say so.
All right.
Well, going by the previous body language of the parliament, I think the parliament should be held responsible.
Okay. We'll take a moment and we'll come back to this conversation, but you can be a part of it as well. They have their say, you also have your say. Our Twitter handles will be showing on your screen at FaceOff Today or at Neotaigbe. If it's longer than 140 characters, we want to hear what you have to say. Send to faceoff@channelstv.com. We'll be back shortly. Don't go away. Welcome back. So who distorted the 2016 budget? That's what we're asking tonight, and these gentlemen are here. So who wants to ask the first question? You?
Let him take a shot.
Wait. I just want to ask you the question that are you proud to come here and start queuing behind the parliament with the content of the character in the country today? I don't think you should do that. The three most hated agencies in the country today, the PHCN, the police, and the parliament. And to even brush that image up, police are doing sufficient level of orientation for their people and the PHCN. But repeatedly, you look at our parliament, they seem to be committed to ensuring that we don't want anything to come to get to the ordinary people on the street. And there are several examples to show that.
Strong words.
Look at the code of conduct. It has passed second reading. They want to remove it from the purview of the executive. Why will you do that? Conventionally, all over the world, executives controls all this kind of apparatus. So you see the desperation from the content of their character till today that these guys are not on the side of the ordinary people. Then this budget in question, you know very well that it's not even the transport ministry that is involved. The HIV and drugs for HIV is completely expunged. Money for agriculture is diverted to constituency project. So it's not only even about transport. There are other areas that they have mutilated and distorted and completely expunged from the budget. And that is not a good thing at a point in our life. And just one of them, one of the very few can consider to be very distinguished, Shashafa, he said that he saw Calabar Lagos Rail in the budget. And one of the budget is accusing him that it's not in the media committee. That's legislative arrogance. This business is not a private business between you and 200 people. It's a business that concerns 170 million Nigerians. And you are not supposed to treat it as if someone, all these people follow them to come and ask for school fees, and my wife is at the hospital, can you give me? That's the way they see Nigerians. And that pattern must change. If you look at what is coming up now, between now and the next 72 hours, I bet you between you and me that we are going to visit that parliament. We are going to march to that parliament. That you have to own up. It's more honorable to own up that in your own wisdom, you felt these are more important projects than this. It's sort of deniers.
Okay. Yeah, let me just ask you to pause there. Let's hear from Honorable Jack.
I think that, you see, nothing can be further from the truth. The president of this country has come up and said, look, there are mistakes in the budget. He has owned up, and that's the honorable way to go. So nobody can come here and start.
So you agree with him about owning up, which is honorable?
Yes. The president exactly said, look, this budget has been padded. For the first time, I'm hearing the word padded. And own up, and we expect that he should brush it up. It's not just to sack the people, and all that he did. He also needs to take a step further by ensuring that the budget that he's going to send, because we now have different volumes of the budget. Don't forget, once what has happened, give room to what the legislators are now doing, because they no longer can guarantee the sanctity of the budget they are dealing with.
So you're saying whatever it is he's accusing the legislators of is a product of what the executive did?
Yes, because the executive, if they have come, because the executive have all the year, don't forget, Section 81 of the Constitution says that they will prepare, and in preparing the budget, it takes a lot of factors. You have to do your costing, your impact assessment, and all of that, then lay before the National Assembly. So if they discover that they were padded or whatever happened, and they need to send another one, they shouldn't have been in a hurry, because they have a 6-month moratorium within which the executive can send a bill to the national. So if they don't do all of that, then it's like the aphorism in my area that any man or woman that brings a maggot infested firewood into the house must expect the visit of the lizard. And so this lizard must come because you have opened up the can of worm. So what the legislative, they gave rise to it. If they have not done so, we will not be where we are. And of course, it happens because in the executive today, you have people who believe, who are civil servants. They are the ones messing up the politicians who are in the system, who have been there in the last 16 years. They masquerade as civil servants, but they are PDP members in different guises, in the MDAs. So they want to do everything possible to frustrate this administration. And the executive ought to have been wiser that here we are. Either they do a total cleanup by ensuring that they come with a team, because they are behaving as if we don't have enough hands to run the federal government, as if we don't have enough people to do what they are, in the next 4 years. So these guys are there, and they are messing up the president, they are messing up the ministers. Don't forget, the minister came and said, look, this budget do not arise from my ministry. Okay, so I can no longer be in the position to say...
He's itching to come
in any case, budget preparation...
Well, first of all, do you agree with what he said?
No, I don't agree with him.
Why?
Budget is not an error-free process all over the world. Sorry, excuse me.
Let us deal with the Nigerian scenario.
Don't interject.
Okay.
Either in Nigeria or anywhere in the world. I am not operating in isolation.
Yes.
You do comparison.
Yes.
And you do measurement of either you are failing or you are passing. There are people in the world you measure yourself. As a Christian, you use Jesus. As a Muslim, you use Muhammad. So, flowing from that, the honorable thing that Buhari has done is to repeatedly, that's what we need. Government is about explanation.
Yes.
And that is what is missing in the content and character of our parliament.
How?
And that's what you are saying.
When you present a faulty once the foundation of a house is faulty, there is no way you can expect a perfect structure.
And there have been consequences for that.
So the building will collapse.
What has emanated from the parliament now? Why do you lack the courage to own up? And you are sitting and defending them.
You cannot.
These are indefensible errors.
Don't forget.
And these are indefensible permutations.
We used to talk about.
You have said it and you have admitted that these are saboteurs.
Don't forget that we also.
Don't limit that sabotage to the executive arm. You have to also extend it to the parliament. Many of our guys in the parliament today are saboteurs of this government.
How?
Look at now. I've given you one example.
Wow.
I said they wanted to remove this criminal bill under the purview of the president. Why would you want to do that?